Bharat's resilience and Bharat's resurgence. Saurashtre Somanatham cha Shri Shaile Mallikarjunam Ujjainiyam Mahakalam Omkaram Malleshwaram. Now this is the opening verse of the Dwadash Jyotirling Sotram, and it places the Somnath in Gujarat as the first of the 12 sacred Jyotirlings in Bharatvarsh. It signifies the pride of place that Somnath temple enjoys in India's spiritual heritage. This also reflects the civilisational belief that Somnath is at the very foundation of Bharat's spiritual heritage and geography. So where is Somnath? Somnath's located at Prabhas Patan. This is near Veerawal in Gujarat. Somnath is not merely a temple in Bharat. It's a place of worship, yes, but it's a living symbol of India's civilizational continuity and that never say die spirit. It's 1,000 years of the attacks on Somnath. The nation is commemorating that because you learn from history to ensure that history does not repeat itself. The history of Somnath is the history of Indian resilience and resurgence. The Somnath Swabhiman Parv, it actually commemorates 1,000 years since the first attack by Mehmood of Ghazni on Somnath in January, this month. January in 1026, that was 1,000 years ago. The Parv today celebrates that enduring spirit of the Sanatan Dharma, of the Sanatan civilization, that rich cultural and spiritual heritage of Bharatvarsh. And moments from now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's already in Saurashtra, yesterday, as you see in those images, he took part in that 72-hour-long Akhanda Onkar Mantra Jap at the Somnath temple, and that also symbolizes continuity of faith, unity, and Bharat's civilizational strength. The Prime Minister will today lead the Shauryatra. Because how many of us know the braves who made the supreme sacrifice for 1,000 years? For 1,000 years to ensure that we are able to follow our way of life. The Prime Minister will talk about the valor of some of those braves. Because remember, just in the first attack, historians write, 50,000 brave sons and daughters of the soil made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. That was in 1026. Currently, we are in 2026. So there will be a symbolic procession that will be organized to mark the Somnath Swabhiman Parv. The Shauryatra actually represents that unparalleled courage, that valor, that spirit of sacrifice, and that spirit that preserved Somnath through centuries of attacks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will offer prayers at the Somnath temple. He'll address a gathering at the Somnath temple where perhaps he will reflect on the civilizational importance of the Somnath temple, the significance of the Swabhiman Parv, and that enduring message of faith, of resilience, and that self-respect that's associated with the Somnath temple, with the Kashi Vishwanath temple, with the Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi, with the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi in Mathura, and so many other temples that were repeatedly targeted by foreign invaders. The Prime Minister's participation in these events actually underscores the national importance that Somnath Swabhiman Parv enjoys and the reinforcement of that commitment. Because remember, this is something that our ancestors have given to us. The fact that you and I are able to follow our way of life today is because of the supreme sacrifices made by our ancestors. And that's the message that we pass on to future generations, to preserve and to celebrate the Sanatan Dharma, the spiritual and cultural heritage of this land. The Prime Minister's visit also highlights Somnath's role, the temple town, the spirit, as a living and enduring symbol of India's civilizational continuity and collective confidence. We may fall, but we will rise once again and we will endure. Perseverance, now resilience, that is something that Bharatvarsh stands for. Because so many civilizations came and went, we not only exist, we continue to grow, we continue to flourish, we continue to make a mark for ourselves in the world today and inspire others. Somnath symbolizes that faith over fanaticism, creation over destruction, the eternity of the Sanatan civilization, echoing perhaps the message of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the soul that remains eternal. Nenam chindanti shastrani, nenam dahati pavaka, na chainam kledayanti apo, na shoshati maruta. This was the message of Yogeshwar Sri Krishna to Arjun. The soul is eternal. It can neither be destroyed by weapons, nor can it be burnt by fire. It cannot be destroyed by water, nor can it be blown away or dried by winds and air. That is the soul of Bharatvarsh, eternal, the spirit of Bharatvarsh. Repeatedly targeted by invaders, but our spirit lives on and continues to grow in strength. And as we look at the broadcast, as we look at what's happening on ground, I want you to for a moment reflect on the history of destruction and reconstruction at the Somnath in Gujarat. So it was in 1026, we are in 2026 today, 1026 Common Era, Somnath was invaded, plundered, desecrated and destroyed by Mehmood of Ghazni, who had heard about the riches of this land. Because remember, this wasn't just a temple town. This was a very important port. Now, because it was a port, trade was huge. And the Arab traders who came in, or traders who came in from different parts of the world, they went back with stories of the glory, of the grandeur, of the wealth of Somnath. Accounts of those times chronicle that, lured by the wealth of Somnath, Mehmood of Ghazni, who wanted to create a massive army, he invaded India. Of course, he came through that route, whether it was Multan or Karachi. He attacked Multan, Karachi, all those places, defeated those kings, came down to Gujarat, to Saurashtra, and 50,000 sons and daughters of the soil, they died protecting the Somnath temple. But did we fall? Did we collapse? That was 1026. 1169, historians record, Chalunk king, Solanki king Kumar Pal, he is recorded to have rebuilt the temple. But then such was the wealth that once again there was an invasion. This was in 1299. So Alaf Khan, general of Alauddin Khilji, he invaded and destroyed the Somnath temple. But in 1308, Chudashma king Mahipala Dev, he rebuilt the temple once again. But then more attacks followed. In 1395, it was invaded and attacked by Muzaffar Shah. But then 1413, it was rebuilt. But 1451, again Mehmood Begda of that Gujarat Sultanate, he attacked, destroyed the temple. But once again, temple was rebuilt by the followers of the Sanatan Dharma. That is the spirit that we're talking about. So brick by brick, rock by rock, stone by stone, the temple was rebuilt. But then in 1669, that cruel Mughal emperor Aurangzeb, that many have tried to whitewash over centuries, including now, Aurangzeb attacked. And Aurangzeb wanted not just the destruction of Somnath, he wanted the Sanatan Dharma, places of our worship, of our civilizational worship, to be targeted. So whether it was Somnath or Kashi Vishwanath or Mathura, Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi, and that farman is there. Aurangzeb ordered the destruction of all these temples. In fact, he ordered the construction of a mosque. 1706, he ordered a mosque to be made at this site in Somnath. But then 1707, Aurangzeb died. That spirit of Bharatvarsh did not. The brave Marathas who were fighting to take back our land inch by inch, they once again went upon the task of reclaiming our heritage. 1783, Mata Ahilyabai Holkar, Queen Ahilyabai Holkar, she began the task of rebuilding the temple. Of course, she built a smaller temple some distance away. But let me now come to this spirit that has endured from 1026 and 1947, when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, when he visited Saurashtra, he'd seen the destruction there. Remember that battle for Junagadh, when he saw what was happening on ground. It was on Deepavali in 1947, November 1947. He made a public proclamation that a grand Somnath temple will be built. The Iron Man of India, fellow freedom fighter and then Food and Agriculture Minister of India, K.M. Munshi, they undertook the task of rebuilding a grand temple, despite the reluctance of some at that point of time. And the BJP today argues that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was one of them who were opposed to this, but that temple was rebuilt. Why? That spirit of resilience, that spirit of resurgence, that self-confidence that we've constantly fought for what we've believed in. And that's the spirit that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is talking about today. Now, there's a lot more that I will tell you about over the course of the next 3 hours, because this is just the beginning. There is a lot in store.
सोमनाथ का ये मंदिर हमारे आत्मविश्वास का एक प्रेरणा स्थल है। हर हर शिव शंकर नीलकंठ गंगाधर आए शरणम तिहारे।
A lot has been planned for the day today. There was a 72-hour-long Akhand Omkar Jap that took place. Today, there is the remembrance of our braves, the images that you see on your television screen. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is already on ground zero. So I want to quickly bring in my colleague Piyush Mishra, who's been on ground zero. And Piyush, you're truly blessed to be in Somnath right now, but bring us details of what's planned for the day and the excitement in the air. Tell us more about what people on ground are talking about the event, the Swabhiman Parv.
Well, there's a lot of excitement among the people, and Gaurav, like you rightly mentioned, about the Veer Gatha of thousands of people who laid down their lives to ensure the protection of Somnath temple. And that Shaurya is going to be showcased today in Shauryatra, which is all set to begin in a few minutes from now. PM Narendra Modi will be reaching here at this very point from where right now we are reporting. And the special feature of this Shauryatra are these 108 horses, and these horses have also been brought here. And my video journalist Manish is showing you how on all these horses we have people adorning the Bhagwa rang on their head, and all of them will be the part of this Shoryatra. Apart from that, we also have thousands of Shiv devotees who will be holding damrus in their hand, a shank in their hand, who will be also be the part of this entire Shoryatra. So it's going to be a mega Shoryatra. We also have few people here. We'll try to understand from them about the importance of these horses who are also taking part in this special Shoryatra, which is all set to begin from this very point, which is entry point towards the Somnath temple. आपका नाम बताएं?
मदन मोहन शर्मा।
मदन मोहन जी, यहाँ से शुरुआत हो रही है इस यात्रा की और सोमनाथ मंदिर की तरफ जाएंगे। हम तो देख पा रहे हैं कई सारे घोड़े भी शौर्य में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। इसका क्या महत्व है?
मैं ये चाहता हूँ जी, ये जो हमारी पहचान है घुड़सवार की, वो पुराने समय से आ रही है। शिवाजी पे घोड़े पे थे, राणा प्रताप भी घोड़े पे थे, आज भी हमारे घुड़सवार का दल सेना में होता है। तो ये हमारा पुराना ही पहचान है घुड़सवार की,
पुरानी पहचान है।
हाँ।
इस शौर्य यात्रा का क्या महत्व है?
शौर्य यात्रा यही है कि हमें आज ये याद दिला रहा है कि इतने आक्रमण हमारे ऊपर हुए, इतने अटैक हुए, प्रयास किया हमको मिटाने का, मगर हम आज भी हैं और रहेंगे। हमारा भगवा आज भी है और रहेगा भी। उससे संबंधित 4 पंक्तियां आपको सुना रहा हूं। गगन में लहरता है भगवा हमारा, गगन में लहरता है भगवा हमारा, ये भगवा है पद्मिनी के जौहर की ज्वाला, मिटाती अमावस लुटाती उजाला, नया एक इतिहास क्या रचने लाला, घिरे जौहरों में मगर कोहरों में, नीले गगन में चमकता रहा पूज्य भगवा हमारा, गगन में लहरता है भगवा हमारा, गगन में लहरता है भगवा हमारा। ये भगवा ध्वज हमारी युगों की पहचान है। ये आज भी है, आगे भी रहेगा और हमेशा अमर रहेगा। ये हमारे प्रण है।
So that's what the message which the people from Somnath are also sending, Gaurav, that Bhagwa Dhwaj was there and it is still there. It will continue to inspire a lot of generations, and the message of the inspiration which was given by thousands of people who laid down their lives for protection of Somnath is also being carried forward to future generations through the Somnath Swabhiman Parv, which is being celebrated in Somnath. As we are speaking, Gaurav, we have already seen thousands of people coming here who are going to take part in this Swabhiman in the Somnath Parv, and Shauryatra is one of the special feature of this entire event. In this Shoryatra, there will be a road show, Shoryatra, which will begin from the entry point of Somnath entry. And this is the entry point which Manish is also showing us how this entry point has also been completely decked up, decorated using different kinds of garlands and decorative items. This entire route which goes towards the Somnath temple, begins from this point. And there at the Somnath temple, we will see PM Narendra Modi holding special prayers. At around 10:15, what we were told is that these special prayers will be done, and after these special prayers, Prime Minister is going to address the people of Somnath, and similar sort of stages have been installed at different parts of this entire area, the entire route which begins from here and goes towards the Somnath temple, and thousands of people have come here of Somnath who are waiting to catch one glimpse of PM Narendra Modi. We also have the women devotees who are standing here. Many of them have flower petals in their hand. You can see as to how they have flower petals in their hand, and they are waiting for Prime Minister to come. And the moment PM will come,
Stay with me.